Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to showcase 30 simple Fortnite tricks. Now, when I say simple, I quite literally mean simple. These tricks are not going to be anything like the usual advanced ones that I cover. Some examples are smart ways to rotate with whirlpools, secret strategies to sneak up on opponents, and even a way to quickly reload your weapons. Be aware, not all of these techniques will be new to you. Some of them I've personally never seen before, while others are more like reminders of tips you probably forgot about. So please, for the love of Papa Jarian, don't leave a snarky comment about knowing one of these tricks for months. There's a good chance other people may not have. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, let's finally get into the video. The first trick we'll look at is the fact you do not take fall damage in bushes. Yes, you heard that correctly. No matter how high up you go, you will not take any fall damage while landing in a bush. This is really useful while you're in build fights or any type of engagement on high ground. You can just position over a bush and use it to get down without using any mats. Second trick is that you can be completely silent in game if you crouch walk while ADSing. As I'm sure you all know by now, footsteps are really loud in Fortnite. One way to get around that is to crouch walk. Crouch walking will dampen the sound of your footsteps. However, it will not make you silent. What essentially will is aiming down sight with a weapon at the same time. It doesn't matter what weapon you do it with or how fast you go, you can cover the sound of your footsteps using this technique. So from now on, anytime you try to sneak up on someone, crouch walk and ADS at the same exact time. Third move is a really helpful box fighting trick to help you end fights faster. You want to use this when your opponent is low health on a ramp in their box. Rather than trying to replace a ramp or shoot through it, you can force them to fight you by walking up under the ramp, spraying it down, and then replacing it with your own while facing their back wall. This will result in you ending up next to your opponent where you can finish them off for the kill. Trick number 4 is the ability to instantly reload your weapons by dropping them out of your inventory and picking them back up. This works for every weapon including ARs, shotguns, and yes, even snipers. Beware though, I'm not sure how long this is going to be in the game for. It honestly could get patched any day now. Regardless, if you've noticed pro players constantly dropping their weapons as they heal, now you know why. Fifth up is the easiest way to boost your FPS in Season 3. All you have to do is stop wearing skins with a lot of effects and start using more basic ones. My friend Orange Guy tested this out and he found his average frames were much worse while wearing cosmetics like the new Blaze skin. He was losing more than 80 FPS. Thus, for all of you guys struggling to get good frames this season, it might be time to join the default squad. Trick number 6 is a feature choppers have where they take more damage when you shoot their propellers. As you can see here, a normal AR shot to a chopper does 31 damage. However, when you aim for the back propeller or the big propeller on the top, you do 69 damage. That is more than double the damage you normally do. So whenever you see a clown boy in a chopper, do your best to target its propellers. Seventh tip is that upgrading from a white to green charged shotgun only costs 30 mats in total. Now, the reason I think it's worth upgrading is the damage difference between the two rarities. A white charged shotgun does max damage of 180 to the head and a green charge does 191. On top of that, a white charge does max damage of 120 to the body and a green charge does 127. That seemingly small difference can completely make or break fights. So considering it only costs 30 mats to upgrade, I would definitely say it's worth. Eighth on my list is to be aware you can dive much farther down while over water compared to gliding down over land. I feel like everyone knows this already when it comes to jumping off the battle bus, but they don't for any other point in the game. Well, the same concept applies no matter when you're gliding. So if you're trying not to get beamed in late game rotations, dive down over water. Trick number 9 is a cool way to get better loot from sharks. What you do is throw some sort of gold or purple loot into the water near a shark. In my case, I threw a surffish, and then let the shark eat it. The shark should begin to glow purple or gold once it does. From there, just eliminate the shark with your weapon, and not only will you get the original item it ate back, but you'll also get higher rarity loot as well. 10th on my list is this cool edit trick I showed in my box fighting video on clicks. Basically, you're able to edit a wall from a whole tile away with your blueprints. Just hold out your wall piece, press your edit key, and you're good to go. This is extremely useful in box fights and real games when you're trying to make edits from a safe distance away. Just keep in mind, this only works with your blueprints. If you try from this distance with your pickaxe or shotgun, you'll be left doing nothing. The following few tricks are all going to be related and really short since they revolve around crash pads. They're also all from my boy Destiny's Jesus. First is this one you've seen Martos utilize to force his way inside boxes. To pull it off, just aim your crash pad at the top of your opponent's wall and walk forward so your character's up against it. When done correctly, the crash pad should land behind you and send you straight through your opponent's builds for an easy shot. Next crash pad technique is to help you rotate in scrims. While you're inside a box, rotate your stairs twice so they look like this, edit out of your 1x1, place the stairs beneath it, and then throw your crash pad on the rotated stairs. This will give you a really cool little low pad rotate to help you get to the next moving zone. And speaking of moving zones, another way you can rotate with crash pads is by placing a floor outside your 1x1, throwing a crash pad on it, covering it up so nobody can shoot it out, and lastly editing the 2 front tiles of your cone up. The edited cone will give you an even lower bounce effect, which is perfect for stacked endgames. So in case you don't have launch pads to use in tournaments, crash pads are a great alternative. Trick number 14 I believe we're on is that you can still get full shield from slurp trucks that are completely underwater. Just break it while you're above it and you'll get the full 100 slurp. Side note, this particular one makes for a really good solo landing spot. Just drop at the back of Sweaty away from everyone, loot up, rotate over to the truck for full shield, and then rotate to zone by using the whirlpool right next to it. A few chopper tricks from Ryu's Tsunami is that you can heal yourself while inside your helicopter by destroying slurp trucks. All you gotta do is fly next to it and then tap it with your chopper. You'll end up getting the full 100 health or shield exactly like in the last trick. My favorite chopper trick from Ryu though is this one that makes it really hard to take damage while initially getting in the chopper. The way it works is you get inside the chopper, then immediately get out and wait for it to start flying. Once it gets off the ground a little, you can get back in and boost away from anyone trying to shoot at you. I really like this because of how much safer it is compared to the normal method of starting up your chopper. Final helicopter trick from Ryu is to mow down the cornfields at Frenzy using the propellers. Not only will this destroy the cornfields, but it will also drop corn for you to put inside your inventory. More than halfway through, trick 18 is the fact you can place cones in different spots depending where you look through a window edit. What I mean by this is when you place your crosshair towards the bottom half of the window edit, your cone will place on the other side of the window on the bottom of the wall. On the other hand, if you look towards the top half of the window edit, the cone will place on the top of the other side of the wall. This trick is really useful for build battles. It helps you establish piece control and end fights quicker than you normally would. Trick 19 is to utilize edited cones to get into vents. In case you haven't landed at the yacht, you cannot jump inside a lot of these vents. Therefore, what Ryu Tsunami does is place a cone, edit the nearest tile of the vent up, reset it, and he's then able to sneak up into the crawl space. The only place on the map where you're actually able to jump inside vents is the Authority. Just run and jump towards the vent in the basement and you can get inside them without wasting any mats. Circling back to rotation tricks, let's take a look at those involving whirlpools. The first tip is to be smart and position next to whirlpools in the mid game. There are tons of whirlpools around the map. That alongside the fact you can build in water during season 3 makes whirlpools a free source of rotation if you position near them in the mid game. Second is, as Destiny Jesus shows here, to build 2 ramps above your 1x1, then use them as a low pad when you come out of the whirlpool. By the way, whirlpools have been disabled for the past few days because of a glitch, so I'm using Destiny's clips. Regardless, third rotate with the whirlpool is to place a cone on the outside of your box, edit it like this, and whirlpool off of it for a nice diagonal rotate. Lastly, you can also do this using a ramp with a floor attached to it. You'll go a much shorter distance, but you won't be in any risk of taking damage. Trick 25 is a way to stop these annoying sharks from attacking you while you loot. All you have to do is take any leftover loot or consumables and throw it in the water. This will buy you some extra time to finish looting while the shark eats whatever you threw in. Something Ryu likes to do in addition to that is throw a crash pad at the shark whenever it rushes him. The crash pad will send the shark into the air, effectively resetting its attack pattern. On the topic of annoying features, one way to get away from marauders is to hide in a bush. Just sit there, turn on one of my videos, and chill out until they go past you. Final few tricks are cool ways to utilize peppers. Peppers are the newly added consumables that give you a speed boost. One way to use them for mid-game rotations over water is to rotate your ramp once, get on top of it using a floor, and then building the rotated ramps for protection as you rotate for free. If anyone shoots at you, then you can just stop to fortify your builds. Also, you can do this in the late game by rotating your ramp 3 times and doing the same exact thing. Let's say you don't want to waste any builds. What you can do is use a pepper and start swimming. The speed boost will work even as you swim. Plus, for the few seconds you do come up out of the water, you can just build a wall or 2 and continue on your way to swim. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the 30th and final tip is to use code Jarian. No, I'm not kidding, my code will actually make you a better player. #ad. Overall guys, those are 30 simple Fortnite tips and tricks. Let me know down below which was your favorite as well as any I should include in a future video. On top of that, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jarian. Remember Remember, boys and girls, just send me proof that you used my code on Instagram or Twitter and I will shout you out. Otherwise, that's it from me and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.